Finally Queen Hippolyta and Wonder Woman said you will need to cover yourself before you go to our village, and then I magically made my clothes appear on my body and I spoke, I'm ready to meet your warriors Queen Hippolyta, and they both stared at me and I said, what is there, something on my face? And Diana ran up to me and touched my face and she said, no, we are just looking at your handsome face and your beautiful eyes, you look so innocent and sweet with your eyes, they are purple, you look like a cute puppy. And I said, no, I'm not a dog. And Xena laughed and chuckled and I scowled a bit and I asked Xena, do I really look like a puppy? And Xena said, kinda, you are adorable. And I frowned, okay, whatever, it doesn't bother me that much. And I sighed and Xena said, what's the matter doggy, lose your bone? And I said, please stop, that's not funny, that's insulting. And Xena said, it bothers you, don't it? Wow, were you bullied as a child? Xena asked. And I said, yes ma'am, I had a speech impediment as a little boy and I was chubby. And Xena said, a WWE, you were adorable even in your previous life, no wonder God wanted to help you, you poor man, he probably felt terrible that you died, so that's probably one of the reasons why he decided to help you. I frowned and my eyes turned white and then bright glowing red. Okay, that's enough Xena, please let's just go. And then me and Xena hid for a while in the village and we waited for Zeus, Ares and Hercules to arrive. What happens next is interesting and it makes sense. Zeus made love to Queen Hippolyta and Hercules watched it. Overwhelmed with lustful thoughts of sex with her, he chose to take her by force, and so I waited until he returned with the Olympian guards and Ares. This whole situation would trigger the twilight of the gods and I had to stop it here and now. And I said, Xena, help me. So one by one, very quickly at night, we knocked out all of Hercules' men and I knocked out Ares, and then I heard Queen Hippolyta fighting Hercules, and then I ran up to Hercules and I said, how dare you put hands on a woman? Little boy, you should know better, your father taught you better than that. And then I slammed him through one of Jupiter's moons and back to Earth in a controlled descent. As I pummeled him, it seems I underestimated you Hercules because I thought you were a better man than this. I guess I was wrong. I once helped you. What happened to the hero I met years ago? And Hercules spoke, I don't know what happened. I felt an overwhelming urge to have sex with Hippolyta. I couldn't resist. Have you ever wanted a woman that bad? Meander, no Hercules, I'm not a rapist. What you tried to do was wrong. I don't ever want to see you again because next time I might kill you. And then Zeus teleported to Earth in a bolt of lightning and I was surprised to see a very young version of the same man that played Zeus in the Zack Snyder Justice League movie. I didn't know who that actor was, but he kinda looks like Gerard Butler a little bit, but with black hair. He is huge in his god form. They can change their size and I think they can be shapeshifters, and I believe Zeus might have that power. So I asked him, Zeus, are you a shapeshifter? Can you transform into any animals or something like that? And he said, yes. How did you know? Well, I didn't, it's just an educated guess. Really, could you also change yourself to look like any human? And he said, yes. I don't understand, how do you know this? Well, my father is God, the King of Kings, the primordial light. Oh yes, I know him. How is the oldest king? Zeus said cheerfully, he's doing well thanks to the birth of all my children and the loss of my brothers and sisters. And Zeus asked about the angels, the Watchers, and Lucifer, and I told him I sent them to hell, but I felt bad about sending Lucifer because he just fell in love with a human and he didn't want to be a slave anymore, at least that's how he felt anyway. And then I told Zeus that I intend to marry your daughter Diana and I want to do this soon, so we will be having the wedding in Rome. You and your family or clan are invited. And then Zeus looked at me with a serious face and he said, my daughter is very young and you're a billion years old. And I said, so what? That doesn't matter for us, age is just a number. Zeus, you of all people should know that. I mean, you don't really age either. In fact, you Olympians get stronger as you age, do you not? I have no problem with you marrying my daughter, just don't break her heart because I know you are married to more than one woman. Have you told her about that yet? She saw me making love to my wife Xena. Does that answer your question, old man? She knows, trust me. And Zeus said, okay, I understand, my bad. Anyway, I will inform my people that we are invited to my daughter Diana's wedding in Rome. I will see you there. And with that, I spent plenty of time with Diana. We even made love on her island, and I was even invited to the summer solstice celebration on the beach with the Amazons every year, and I got excited. I know what that is.